want it, I get it.
Welcome to the Unbothered podcast. My name is Jessica Layne, and this is Jillian. Jillian, say your last name.
Benedetto.
Normally you say it really fast.
I know, I talk fast. I try not to. I've had this problem since middle school when I was an anchor for my class, and I would talk so fast, and then the director was like, "Count in your head, because when you count in your head, you talk slower." So, little
I
tip.
think you talk too fast. I just was struggling to pronounce it. So you can talk as fast as you want here. That teacher's not here.
True. He's not.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about how to feel empowered during the holidays. Jillian, what holidays do you celebrate?
So, I celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah because we are half and half in this household. So my kids get to celebrate all the fun things and, multiple other ones throughout the year. But Hanukkah's right now and Christmas is coming up. So they're excited. What about you? What holidays do you celebrate?
Christmas. And I've been meaning to get into Samhain. Samhain is like a pagan holiday for witches where you leave out offerings for your ancestors and your guides. I have not researched it as much as I would like to be able to talk about it, but it's just been coming up a lot. And Samhain, when you look at the way that it's spelled, it does not look like that's how you would pronounce it. So that is a holiday that I plan on celebrating, I think next winter. But I do Christmas, and I do Christmas a little differently. And so today we want to be talking to y'all about how to feel empowered during the holidays. For me, I am estranged from my entire family. I had to escape an unsafe family. So I don't do like a traditional family Christmas. And so what I normally do is I do what's called Friendsmas. And last year I had a really fun Friendsmas with a friend of mine who is also, she is estranged from one family member, and then her father passed away. So she does not do family holidays. And so what we did is she came over and we had Thai food and a charcuterie board and wine, and we wore sparkly dresses. Like we wore gowns, like we wore
love
glitter
that.
gowns, and had Thai food and Riesling. And it was so much fun. And then we went on a walk in my neighborhood, and there's this elementary school in my neighborhood, and they have hogs and goats, like as part of, I guess, the children's learning. I don't know. So we went over there and we played with some hogs and goats.
I love that.
Thanks. So let's hear about your holidays. Jillian, what do you like to do?
So my in-laws are Italian, obviously with the Benedetto last name. And my mother-in-law has this like insane Christmas. My in-laws invite like 50 people. They have tables set up outside. My kids and all the cousins come and they all play. And she does, I think it's 7 fish or 9 fish. I can't remember, but it's all about fish on Christmas for Italians. So she makes all these fish dishes. She's like the best cook ever. I tell her when I'm at her house, this is my favorite restaurant because her food is just so good. And then, we go to my mom's for Hanukkah. We do whatever, like the first Friday that falls on Hanukkah, we go to her house for like a little Hanukkah party, which it happens to be this Friday. So my sisters are down and with their kids, and then my mom invites some of her friends. So my kids get the best of both worlds, I guess. They call it Christmaka.
That's so cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how to feel empowered during the holidays. So, because I don't do traditional holidays, like that is something that I feel empowered to do. That's a choice that I get to make. And I hear a lot of people complaining. They're like, "Oh, I have to go do the holidays this way. I feel obligated to do the holidays with people who don't treat me well." And I am here to be your permission slip. You are not obligated to do the holidays with anyone that doesn't treat you well. You are not obligated to do the holidays with people who purposely harm you.
Yeah.
You can tell them no, because here's what I learned. When I decided not to do holidays with my family, they were mad. But they were mad anyway. They were mad no matter what decision I made. And once I realized, like, I am not responsible for how they feel. I am an adult. I am the boss of my life. That means I'm the boss of my holidays.
Yeah.
And so I just straight up said, no, not doing the holidays with you, blocked them on everything. Problem solved. You can do an Irish goodbye during the holiday. Like, you don't have to give somebody a reason A lot of people are afraid to decline a holiday invitation because they're like, "I don't wanna have to explain to them why I can't be there." Then don't. "No" is a complete sentence.
Yeah,
You can just
100%.
say, "I can't make it," and that's it, and then do whatever you want, and just don't worry about how they feel because you're not responsible for their feelings.
Yeah. 2026 should be the year of empowerment. I feel that so strongly because in 2025, I think a lot of us felt like we lost our power applying for jobs and getting rejection emails and just feeling like we couldn't control anything. And so I want 2026, I want people to feel going into 2026 that you can control your reactions. You can control yourself, but you can also control what you say no to and the places you go and the people you hang out with. You don't have to feel obligated to do all of the things.
Yeah. I used to get so stressed during the holidays because I was like, I have to take PTO. I have to make a 10-hour drive round trip. Like, I have to pack up all this stuff. Like, being on the road for 10 hours, like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And as someone who, struggled with insomnia, like driving while you have insomnia, like that's not safe. And I was like, I am putting myself in harm's way over and over and over just to make people feel good. And those people can't even be bothered to treat me with respect. So I was just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it took me a really long time to get to this place. I feel like it took all of 2025 because I don't know, I've always been appeasable, like we're invited somewhere, we go. It was just kind of like expected. And I think that it took all of the no's, I guess, like me trying to find a job and then getting all of these no's. And I don't know if it was put in a position where I felt like people genuinely didn't care because I feel that way still now. I just had like a crazy interview yesterday, but I just really feel like don't go down to the level of not caring. Still get back to people, give them the no. You don't have to tell them why. You don't owe anybody a why, but you have to protect yourself and your peace and how you want to be treated throughout the year. I just want 2026 to be about people getting their power back.
I think it will be. It's actually the year of the horse. So
Right.
2025 was the year of the snake.
Right.
So we're shedding.
Shed. Yeah.
Okay, 2025 has been awful. I
It's
have
a
not
lot,
enjoyed
people.
I've not enjoyed it. But because like I just feel like I'm always shedding and I'm like it's time for a win
Mhm.
because I can't just keep shedding and that be it. So
Yeah.
2026, that's the year of the horse, it's the year of the fire horse. That's action. Like fire is action. And horses, they take you places. That's more action. So 2026, I feel like it's just going to be a windfall of wins. And I also want people to know, like, the job market, like we said in our last episode, it's devolving and it is a sinking ship. And the way that you can empower yourself is start your entrepreneurial path now
Hun
and just do whatever makes you feel good. Like, what do
Yeah.
you like to do? What do you enjoy? If you don't know the answer, go figure that out. You get to explore it. That gets to be your adventure. And then once
Mhm.
you figure it out, like, I just discovered school. Skool. And I'm working on a school where I will be selling courses. The first one is called How to Communicate Like a Bad Bitch, How to Say No Like a Bad Bitch, How to Get Through Family Estrangement. And then I have How to Find Your Authentic Brand Voice. And I'm going to put some spells and some hexes in there because your words are how you speak your reality into existence. It does
Mhm.
not happen overnight, but your words are your power. That's why
Mhm.
people want you to not use them and be afraid of them. If you want to feel empowered, start telling people how to treat you because you tell people, you train people how to treat you based on the words that you use and how you talk about yourself. That's why I will never talk down about myself because that trains people. She does that, I can do that too.
Interesting. Yeah. And I think also the way you treat people too. So, be like we said last episode, just be kind to everybody and you will get kindness in return. And I know 2025 has been so hard for so many people because, and even for me, I felt like kindness just didn't exist. And that's why I stopped applying for jobs because I was getting treated like such shit. And it starts to take a toll on your psyche. And then when, I am feeling really bad about myself, it overlaps into all these other areas of my life. And as much as people say, take the rejection and move on, when you get 20 rejections in 1 year, some people can't move on from that. And the way that the rejections are being shaped and the way we're being told. It's one thing to apply for a job, not get the job, get an email back, whatever. But it's another thing to apply for a job, follow the job on LinkedIn, talk to a recruiter, become attached or involved, not attached, but involved with this job and this company. And then you're treated like shit by someone from HR, by a recruiter from that company. That company is being reflected in those actions. And it's not a surprise that many companies are failing, that many companies are doing the things that they have to do, like post ghost jobs to get followers, because the way you treat people from day one is going to reflect on who you are as a service, as a product. At the end of the day, it's all
They're
connected.
eroding their own trust.
Right. It's all the same. Brand is product. Product is brand. Service is brand. Brand is service. It's all the same. So if you're talking to a recruiter and they're treating, 100 people apply for a job, 100 people get mass rejection from this company, that's reflecting on your brand. And I feel like companies and people who work for them, who are the face of the company, they're not realizing this. And I think 2026 there's going to be a powerful turn at some point where something is going to get taken out of the darkness. I don't know what it is, but somebody's going to come around and somebody is going to shed light on this whole thing, and it's going to explode in people's faces. And I think that they really need to just start preparing for that. Start treating people better from day one. It's really not hard. I mean, we've talked about ways to do it. Nobody's doing it, which is wild to me.
You said somebody's going to be shedding a light on this. That's you.
I hope it is me. Honestly, I really do. I have lists of companies, not only from my experience, but from other people who have DM'd me. I think it's hard for people to wrap their head around what I did in 8 months. Like, this girl came onto LinkedIn. I had no followers when I started in April. I had connections, of course, but I went from let's say 500 followers to 13,000 because I'm speaking a truth that everybody's thinking, but nobody wants to say because they're scared of repercussions. Am I scared of repercussions? Yeah, sure. But if nobody tries to fix this problem that is just evolving into something so much bigger, how are we ever going to impact change?
These companies are racking up an energetic debt that they cannot afford. There is something called the energetic council. You can think of it like an energetic court. And yes, it's part of karma. When companies and people treat people so badly, they are causing an imbalance in energy. That creates an energetic debt. They are marked. Energetically, they are marked. These companies and these people that cannot be bothered with treating people well, they get energetically marked, and that follows them around. And that energetic debt needs to be paid. And a lot of these companies, these people, they cannot afford that energetic debt. So they will go out of business. They will lose money. There will be lawsuits. And if it doesn't happen in this life, it's going to happen in the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until they learn their lessons. So they're going to get what they deserve. And that's why I think hexing is so powerful. I am the karma that I want to see in the world.
I feel like 2026, I just think, is going to be reminiscent of 2008. I think that, people are finally going to admit we're in a recession. They're finally going to admit AI has taken over tech jobs. I mean, I think that there's going to be a powerful shift in 2026. And from my mouth to the universe's ears, but I really do feel like there's going to be an awakening. I think that companies are going to say, oh shit, what did we do? We fired half our creative department and we're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue. And I think that people are not going to be silenced anymore because they successfully silenced us. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe that this was a way to silence a generation. Ageism, that lawsuit that's going on with Workday, millennials who have opinions and who want to speak up and who have a platform to do so have been strategically silenced by what's going on right now.
Yeah, and I think that there's been generations of that, of silencing. That's what systemic oppression is. It silenced people. Systemic racism silenced people, and oppression silences people. It's doing what it is designed to do. And that is why when people like us start speaking up against it, people want to come out and tell us to shut up because we hold a mirror to their lies. And that reflects the cracks in their foundation. And if you do not have a strong foundation, you're going to fall the fuck apart. That's how it works. And so these people who benefit from the illusion of control, they are falling apart.
Agreed. I don't know. If anybody wants to come on, if anybody, I would really like to talk to someone who's in economics. Like I feel like that would be so interesting to like hear their POV right now and how they see. I follow some people, um, I think it's on Instagram, who have like some pretty wild insights to what they think is going to happen in the next few years. But, politicalness aside, because I don't get political, I don't like to get political at all. I'm like apolitical. I feel like I do what I think feels right for me. But I think that economy wise, there's going to be a fallout. Some shit's going to go down.
It's already in
It
motion.
has to. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to.
And I believe that like AI is a tool for people to become entrepreneurs, and social media is a gift. It is your platform. So what I want to tell people is like you have the tools between AI and social media. You have the tools to become an entrepreneur, and you will have to do some soul searching to figure out what that's going to look like for you. And it is hard work, and it's not always fun, and it is scary, and that is called the unknown. And I have been in the unknown since like 2017, because that's when I started divorce and family estrangement at the same time. I leaped into the unknown and I was like, that's it for me. So, for a lot of people, the unknown is really frightening territory because it's incredibly uncomfortable and there is no roadmap. And I'm just here to tell you, I did it. You can do it. Like it can be done because the life that you want to live, it's in the unknown. It is
Mhm.
on the other side of your fear. So you just have to be scared and then do it anyway.
Yeah. And some people aren't going to have a choice. There's more people than there are jobs right now. So things are going to have to change, but I think we can talk about change in a positive way. I posted something on LinkedIn a few weeks ago and this recruiter came at me and she's like, "There are so many other things you can do in the meantime. You can be a teacher, you can work at Publix, you can get a job for Uber in the gig economy." And like, yeah, sure. Go.
First of all, I applied to grocery stores. I applied to retail stores. They ghosted just like everybody else. I don't have a car. So that's going to rule out Uber and things like that. And when I've talked to Uber drivers, they're like, if you want to like rent a car from Uber, it's like $300 a week.
Oh my
A
gosh.
week. And one of my friends drives for Uber and they're like, I only make like $100 a day. And so if you're only making like $500 a week and then 300 of that is going back to the car, like that
Right.
math
Yeah.
doesn't math. And
Right.
so people who tell you to go do those jobs, they don't know what they're talking
I
about.
know. Agreed. And where I was going with this is that the way that she came at this post and at these people was just so unsympathetic. It was kind of like, just do this in the meantime.
What
I'm
makes you think we
sorry.
haven't?
Right. What makes you think people haven't tried? A. And B, don't do that. Don't degrade what people are saying. Don't say, "Oh, you're just complaining, go out and do something." Don't degrade that. Because social media is for sharing our truth. And this is our truth. And the fact that it bothers you, that's fine. Unfollow.
Leave.
Don't make a comment.
Hmm.
That's what social media is all about, sharing your truth. And if it bothers you, walk away. Just walk away. It's so easy. Just close
So
the tab.
easy.
And so I don't get like the hostility. I never understood the hostility on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. If I see something I don't like, I'm most likely just going to keep scrolling because I'm not here to change somebody's mind.
Right.
Like, and most people don't want to change their mind. And as someone who has been in multiple forms of therapy since 2018, I change my mind all the time. Like the more
Mhm.
information I get, the more I'm going to change my mind. And that's hard work. And I've realized I was like, I've been so tired since 2018 because I've been doing root work. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. Like I've been doing root work like consistently for about 8 years. And I have looked at lineages and generations of the women in my family, and the throat chakra is what was taking them all out. So they were silenced. They weren't allowed to speak up. And that's why I'm such a big fan of naming names, first name, last name, and where they work, because my ancestors didn't get to do that. And that is a karmic debt that like I am helping pay in a way, you know? So it's like when people are like, "Ooh, Jessica, be careful with those hexes and name droppings." I'm like, "No, this is my soul's mission. That is why I am meant to name drop and to call people out. That is part of my soul's missions, and my ancestors are here to support that." And when people say, like, try to make you fear your own power, that ain't working over here.
Yeah. I feel like so I was having this conversation with an old creative director of mine, and he was kind of like asking me why I started to do what I'm doing on LinkedIn, and he was like, "I always knew that you had this in you." He's like, "I always knew that you did." And he's like, "Finally." He's like, "When I read your stuff," he was like, "I literally was like, finally." And then I spoke to a couple other people and they said the same thing. And they were like, "You always had these ideas and this vision of how things should be, but I was always scared. Like, I can't say that. That's not appropriate. That's not acceptable in society. But who am I and who's everybody else to judge what is acceptable in society? As long as you're treating people kindly, as long as you're trying to do your best, trying to make things better, that's what we should all strive to. We're all students, we're all learning, we're all teachers, we're all teaching. We're all in this together." And so I feel like I can finally just breathe and be like, "Finally," you know? Just
Yeah.
really.
I wanna talk about the difference between kindness and people pleasing.
Yeah.
People pleasing is when you abandon yourself. Kindness is when you show the world, this is how I treat me, this is how I'm going to treat you. Now, there is a disclaimer because I call out bad behavior, and that is kind to me. That is kind to my ancestors, and that is kind to people who did not get to speak up. So, people pleasing is when you abandon yourself because when people say keep the peace, what they're asking you to do is keep their secrets.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of people physically ill. It made me physically ill. And then when I started telling those secrets out loud, I told you I lost 2 inches off my waist.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah, kindness to me is I'm just showing the world that, like, this is what I expect.
Mhm.
And if you cannot give me what I expect, if you cannot meet my expectations, you're going to permanently lose your access to me. Let's talk about apology fees.
Mm.
I'm a big fan of apology fees. Okay. So, an apology with words, that's not enough. And about 2 years ago, there was this man. I called him Uncle. I called him Uncle Charlie. He was not my biological uncle, but he played the role of like a community elder and an uncle. And he had hired me a few times in the past to do marketing work for his company. And then when I was early unemployed, he said, he was like, "I'm going to hire you." He's like, "I'll give you $400 for like X amount of hours." And I was like, "I'll give you 4 hours for $400 of work." And he was like, "Great." He's like, "I'm going to hire you in a couple of days." Cool. Well, a couple of days came around. He did not hire me. And I was like, "Yo, I'm unemployed. Like, I budgeted with that money. And now you're taking it away. You're effing with my money. Like, that's not cool." And he's like, "Okay, okay, okay." He's like, "I'm going to hire you next week." He did the same thing. I said, Listen, well, Charlie, this is what you did. This is the impact it had on me. If you mess up again, you're going to permanently lose your access to me." And he said, "Here's $400. You don't have to work for me. Just here's the $400." That's my apology fee. And then he tried to pull that same thing again, like 6 months later. And I was like, "That's it. We're done." And I
Yeah.
blocked him and I made $400. Get you an apology fee. People need to be putting their money where their mouth is. Another example, my estranged family that I don't speak to because they harass and stalk me, and I don't talk to them. And then they started sending me money because they wanted me to talk to them. And I was like, "Nah." So they sent me like a $200 check on my birthday. I didn't speak to them. I just told the internet what they did to me, and then I got paid for it.
Hmm.
So when you remove people from your life, sometimes they're going to send you money. That's a win-win.
Moral of the story. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've met so many types of different people throughout this journey, throughout this year of sharing my truth. And I don't know, it's super freeing. It really is just to see what types of people are out there that you're not in it alone. I think that's really like that's the biggest takeaway I have from this year. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about take.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway, the more I talk, the more money I make. Not at first.
One
At
because you're
first,
speaking your truth.
exactly. And the universe, that's what they want me to do. Like, I am a mermaid and I'm a life path number 33. So that's a master teacher. And threes are about balance and harmony and collaboration. And in order to achieve balance, there must be constant adjustments.
How do you find your number? I want to find mine.
So you take your birthday, the month, the day, the year, you add them up in a certain way, and then you just keep condensing it down until you get a one-digit number.
Wait, how do you add them up?
So, like,
Do it.
I'm July 4th, 1984. So 7 plus 4, that's 11. 1984 is at
Plus 1
14.
plus 9 plus 8 plus 4. Is that how you do it?
Get the exact formula. I'm so sorry. But there's a website. There's so many websites that teach you how to do it. And once you know your life path number, that can give you some guidance on like what you're here to do.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna do it. So what'd you say you're 33?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be funny if I'm the same? Mine is 7. No, no, I'm not. Wait, am I? Reveal my life path. Yeah, I'm life path number 7. I'm eternal students of the universe.
Okay, so your life path number 7?
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so yes, like that is like I don't want to scare anybody here. That's Christ consciousness and that is spiritual leadership. And I don't mean Christ in the religious sense. I mean like source, universe, creator, all that is. Like that is a very spiritual leadership path.
Interesting.
Congratulations.
Is that cool? Let's see what
Yeah.
let's see what my husband is. He's 4.
Here,
Oh my god, this is so perfect for him.
what is he?
4, dedicated, patient, down to earth. Yeah. Yours is like super rare, 33. Let's see. Oh my God, this is so fun. You guys, I'm going to link this in the show notes. Let's see what my children are. I hope we're not boring anybody with this. I bet you my daughter's going to be 33.
It's about teaching, it's
Oh,
about leading, and
no,
there's also a big spiritual component to that as well. Like
he's
I'm a reader.
11.
What?
He's 11. This
That's an
describes her perfectly.
Yeah. So yeah,
God.
the master numbers 11, 22, 33, the numbers that repeat like that. Yeah.
Yours is like the best, though.
Thank you.
I really thought she was going to match with you because you guys have the exact same energy. Let's see what my son is. Oh my God, this is so fun. He's
Isn't
1.
it?
I love this. Who else
Fours
could be
are like
though?
fours are like a strong, stable foundation, which feels very earthy.
Oh my God, this is super cool. What's the hermit in the tarot deck? That's what they're describing 7 as.
So that is like sometimes seclusion, isolation. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I need to be alone a lot.
All right. So in tarot, I'm just going to read you straight from my book. A hermit welcomes the solitude that illuminates. Withdrawn from the noise and the rush of the world, they are in search of themselves without the distractions and opinions of others. So the light within is symbolic of being like a lighthouse, symbolic of the union of the water, of the intuition, of the fire, of the inspiration. The alchemy combines what is felt with what is known and leads to true wisdom.
That's cool. Now I see why we get along so well. I'm reading your life path 33.
It's cool. I love it.
It is.
It's super helpful. So if anyone wants some guidance on like what entrepreneurial route they should pursue, look into your life path number and then Google what your midhaven is. Your midhaven is related to your astrology birth chart. So just look up what is your midhaven. And those two areas can just give you some guidance, help you figure out like what path you're on, and that can help lead to what kind of entrepreneurial endeavors you'd like to pursue.
What's your midhaven?
I forget. I just looked into it like last week and I don't remember.
This is so amazing. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. And there's also, what is it called? Human design. I would highly recommend if you want to be an entrepreneur, look into your human design. There's free sites, free apps, and it's based on astrology. So your human design is going to show you what's going on in different parts of your body and how to work with that. I'm a manifest generator.
We need to have Jem.
Yes. So she said she could be a guest in January. And so let's have Jem on to do some astrology talk.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. My midhaven is in Libra.
Balancing the scales of justice.
You guys, 2026 is going to be revolutionary because I'm going to bust some shit wide open. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Yes. Well, we're building.
People are going to take responsibility for what they've been doing. That's what I think.
We've been building and we've been shedding, and so it's time for us to get our lick back, and that's what 2026, I believe, is all gonna be about. Like, we are each building our own separate empires, we're building a 3rd empire together, we're working on books, films, oracle decks, classes, courses. We're gonna have a Patreon.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You guys, we're gonna have a Patreon behind the scenes.
So, our Patreon will have weekly episodes, and what we've been talking about this week is that we're going to post them on Sundays, and it's going to be like an anti Sunday scary type post. Like, for a lot of people, they do get the Sunday scaries. And so, we're going to be talking about how to not have that and just give you something to do on a Sunday evening to help get you into the week ahead.
Hmm. And we're gonna talk completely uncensored because we have to like censor ourselves here. But Patreon's gonna be a paid tier, so we will name names, guys. I'm not like threatening anybody. Don't take it as like us like starting our paid cult because we're not doing that yet. The rope.
I'm starting a coven. I have a coven.
I mean, I have a coven too, which I just realized after you told me. But once our robes come in, then we'll like let you know all the details. They're like pink and shinies. They're really cool, you guys. So we can have in-person meetings. Jess actually knows this like really crazy church by her house. I'm totally joking. Listen to this snip and be like, I told you she was starting a cult.
A coven, be afraid. It is
Yeah.
made up of all the smartest women in the room.
Seriously. We're so done being taken advantage of. Honestly. So done. Like just so done. I want to like write emails to every single person who took advantage of me on an interview and told me like stupid shit that just wasn't true and made me feel bad.
Write them an open letter. We can do that on Patreon. What I also like about Patreon is like we can cuss more, we can say more F words. There's a lot less censoring on Patreon. And that's why we're like, that's a good addition to the things that we want to talk about but can't on YouTube.
And you know what? If we start naming company names, which we're going to, we're just going to like tell it like it is. If they want to know, if they know us and they interviewed us and they want to know, they're going to have to pay, get onto our Patreon.
I make a lot of people pay to talk to me.
That's like poetic justice, don't you think? I
Yes.
don't know. Something
Yes,
about
it
that.
is. As a woman who is a member of an oppressed group of people and who has been on the wrong end of financial oppression and wage gap discrimination, I make
Yep.
a lot of men pay me money if they want to speak to me. That is reparations. That is financial justice and balancing the scales.
Yeah. I went through something when I was pregnant with my first child, and we can talk about that. I feel like that'll make a lot of people feel better about their shitty situations because I had a shitty situation that we'll talk about. We'll dedicate an episode to it. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I feel really good about this Patreon thing.
Yeah.
She laughs evilly.
I've been doing a lot of like evil laugh lately as I've been doing my hexing. I'm like, well, speaking of hexing, so I know you're about to have to go run an errand, but I was pulling some cards this week because my family that I'm estranged from won't stop harassing me. So I filed a police report. I went to the DA's office. I talked to an attorney. And then I was like, let's pull some cards. I was like, what's going on with my estranged parents' reputation now that this has started? The death card
That's
jumped right out. And
amazing.
in this scenario, what that means is the death card doesn't have to be death, like in the physical sense, but it does speak to an energy and it does speak to an ending of a cycle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
their reputation has changed. It is dark. People are starting to see my parents, Johnny Hooper and Michelle Hooper, for who they really are and what they really did.
I hate that I love this so much. Like, I hate that because I don't wish bad on anybody, right? But if, like, hey guys, there's this girl who was like super mean to me in high school. And sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, I like wish bad upon her. But I really I don't wish bad upon her because I don't wish bad upon anybody. I'm just saying,
Serious.
maybe we should hex her too.
You can do whatever you want because here's what I wish for and what I put in my hexes. The people that I hex, like my parents, they gonna feel what I felt. What they did to me will be done to them. That is balance. The pain that they caused me, they are feeling right now. That is balance. So when people are like, ooh, I'm like, then don't do it.
Yeah,
Then
just
don't do to me what you did to me.
right. Yeah. It's so true. If you feel like something's wrong, just stop and take a breath and maybe just don't do it or say it. I don't know. But then,
Snack and a nap.
yeah, second. And then someone once told me I was talking to this like LinkedIn influencer who has like 1.2 million followers. He like reached out to me and he was like, "You're so funny. I really love your content, whatever." And he was like, and I asked him a question. I was like, "How do you know like what you're posting is going to be good?" And he was like, "The way that I gauge what I'm posting is like, do I feel a little bit of fear when I'm posting it? Like, am I scared to put this out into the world?" And he's like, and then I know that it's gonna hit a nerve with somebody and it's gonna, how would you define success, whatever that definition is. But he's like, once I realize that I'm scared to put it out and I'm nervous, then he does it. And he's like, and those are usually my best performing posts. So I've been, like, leaning into that. I'm like, "Does this scare me a little bit?" Like, the Omnicom one scared me. I was like, "Oh, should I do this? I don't know if I should do this." And then I did it, and it went, like, super crazy viral. So, I feel like just leaning into what scares you means that it's gonna have the biggest impact.
Yeah, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Yeah.
Like,
You
you're
should.
not gonna feel safe when you're doing something big.
Yeah, I totally agree. People need to be scared more because I feel like then it's more personal to them. Like, this podcast scares me. Talking candidly scares me.
I scare people all the time, whether I'm speaking or not. Like one time I was at a cigar bar with a friend, love cigars, and I wasn't saying anything. I was just observing and watching. And this old man lost his shit. He shouted in the room to notify everyone. He goes, "She's dangerous. She's not speaking. That means she's plotting. She's dangerous." And I was like, interesting.
That's weird.
That's weird. You're a
But
grown man.
he wasn't not wrong, probably. We're plotting all the time. I like to plot. I like to be quiet and observe. That's how my daughter is. She's very quiet when she first meets people. She's very observant. That's why I thought she'd be at 33. She holds on to her power. You know, when you're little and like no one's taken your power away from you yet and you just have it, like you just inherently have this power until people tell you, good girls don't talk like that. Or sit down and listen to this person talking. Still, like, has her power. I hope she never loses it. That's, like, a big deal for me to make sure that my son, boys are treated differently. It's just the truth of how we are. Yeah, I watch for that. That's really cognizant on my mind to make sure my kids stay in their power.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, get your power back, guys. We need to take our power back in a real
And
way.
I have found it can start with just saying no.
Yeah,
Saying no to the things that you don't want to do, because eventually people are going to stop asking you. People don't ask me to do things I don't want to do because they know I'm going to say no.
right. Yeah, and that's powerful. That's powerful. You're controlling someone's actions that affect you. That's power in a good way. Well, this episode was very mind opening.
This was fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. So the Patreon episodes will start this Sunday. We'll like blast that out after we do our first one. Yeah, look for that.
Yeah,
What else?
Patreon will have new Sunday episodes, plus it's going to have all of the unedited versions of this podcast.
Yeah, taking phone calls, yelling at kids, dogs barking, everything.
Name dropping,
Name dropping. Forgot about
all the
that.
words that we had to edit out.
Yeah, all the FUCKs that have been edited out for clarity and not getting kicked off YouTube.
We need 500 subscribers to get monetized.
Do we on
Subscribe.
YouTube? Okay. How many do we have?
It's like a one-digit number.
I think we have like 9. You guys, come on, subscribe. We'll put the link in the show notes. I'll link it also on LinkedIn.
That's blessing mermaids. When you bless mermaids, you get blessed in return. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Follow us and Jess will do a positive hex. Oh my
That's
God,
just a spell, baby girl.
good idea. Yeah, we should do. Okay. If you guys follow us, we can make personalized spells for you for 2024.
Forfeit. Forfeit.
I like that. Can we do that? Okay. Follow us and then message me or Jess and we'll do something positive in your name and send it to you.
It's not going to be any of that toxic positivity. I don't do that.
Yeah, it's going to be real. It's going to be a virtual thing. Don't expect anything in the mail. Busy bitches don't have time for that. Okay, so I have to be a good daughter and go take my mom to her eye doctor appointment now.
Have
All
fun.
right. Thanks, guys. See y'all next week. Bye.
Incredible!